Whoa, no, 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 no.
Alright, so as you'll notice, one of the three amigos is missing. It's Dwayne's wife's birthday, so he's off, you know, doing what a good husband should do. So instead of working on his exploded pile of junk today, we're going to work on the exploded pile of junk that is a Lincoln.
And it's about time, too.
So, Keith, I think it's about time we kind of let our viewers know what our real plans are for this project.
Well, of all the kinds of racing that I've been able to do, drag racing and road racing, and I've gone pretty fast, we've always had a desire to go to Bonneville and see what we could do on the salt flats. So really our end goal with this is to go 200 miles an hour or faster, maybe a little bit faster, but I'd like to go 200 miles an hour before I check out, you know, on this kind of on my bucket list of things to do. So this car is really being put together ultimately, you know, for speed racing at the salt flats.
Well, I know one thing for sure. I'm not getting in any car with this suspension and going more than maybe 35, 37.2 miles an hour.
It's really time for us to really upgrade, you know, some of the components. And so today our goal is to get this cleaned up. You know, it's come out of the car now, and we want to get it cleaned up. We want to show you some of the new parts that we're going to put on it and see how far we can get on that right now. But the goal right now is to get it cleaned up and torn down.
Well, if you've been following this project, it might be a little bit of a shock to see this out of the car. Well, I lost an SD card, we lost a little bit of footage. We don't quite have all that, so I'm going to try to fix it in post with a little bit of video that I do have, so that you guys can understand why this is out of the car and what we're doing with it. So, as you can see, the Lincoln is really tightly packaged. You can't really get to the headers at all.
Okay, so we're back on our exhaust segment, and to finish off getting at the exhaust manifolds, which is very difficult on this car, really tucked up inside in the engine compartment, we have to take the K-member off of the car. It's the easiest way to get it done and to get access to it.
So we were able to drop the K with minimal cussing, and we were greeted with a very interesting 1993 only stamped and welded exhaust manifold. The later models actually got cast iron exhaust manifolds. We did end up having to cut one of the power steering lines. We just couldn't get access with how cramped the engine bay was. We actually ended up cutting the exhaust manifold off. We had one stubborn bolt, and we did break one stud. The headers that we got almost fit. You'll see us kind of making them work in a later episode. I guess first step is to clean this thing up.
It's time to clean.
All right.
Okay, so we've brought our K-member with all this suspension on it outside here, because now we're going to degrease this thing. So, you know, get your favorite can of degreaser, whatever you want to use, something strong. We're going to get this all greased up. And we've got our muscle here today. We got a special guest star. Harrison's come to help us since I can't pick this up, you know, by myself. So we're going to get started. sit for a little bit.
All right, yeah, we'll let it sit for a bit.
Gonna have a little cold drink and.
Just give it a scrub, get the big chunks broken up. Power wash will do with a lot of it, but
Scrub that dub.
okay, good enough. Between the foamy and the original, maybe the foamy's good for like your Camry or something, but not good for a 93 Mark VIII. Forget about it. Spend your money on the original.
If you would have tripped.
Comedy gold. Alright, so it's cleaned up, power washed, degreased, and looks like we had a Moog truck crash into our shop.
Yeah, we got all this nice new Moog suspension parts. So we're going to get to tearing it apart and putting some of these new parts on here. We are actually going to paint our K-member before we put it back in. But yeah, you want to see some nice new parts. All new control arms, ball joints, tie rod ends, everything's gonna get updated and ready to go 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, as much as we wish we were sponsored by Moog, all this we paid for ourselves. So Moog, love a sponsorship, maybe. Anyways, the reason why you buy good suspension components like Moog or some of the aftermarket stuff, a lot of aftermarket ball joints and other suspension components, bushings, that's the world that I come from, the suspension side of things in the OE environment. So a lot of these things are safety critical parts. You can buy much cheaper stuff, but you really don't want to put it on your car, especially if you're going to be trying to go 200 miles an hour with it. So with that being said, I guess we'll start tearing in.
Let's get at it. Go ahead, try your, do it with the impact. Do it with the impact.
No.
Do it with the impact. You get more out of it if you do it with the impact. Just try it. Just try it.
Get it on there.
Okay.
It's also stuck in there, so it's not coming out. So it's going to stay there for now.
It's been a long time since I've had one this hard to get off. Well, that moved at least. Did it come? Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be hot. It'll come. Yeah. Whoa, no. Watch your face. Watch your face.
It's gonna burn for a while.
Okay, spray some on those threads. All right, give it a shot. Take it off for a second. You're getting rust all in the threads. That's why I'm brushing it off. The rust gets in the threads and that's when it starts. Go ahead and try it again now. Go back in a little bit, just a little bit. Now it's okay. We're gonna need all of these, so we gotta.
Okay, well, let that thing. I'm not touching the thing right now.
I'll eat it again if it doesn't start to move.
No, there it goes. Harrison strength, see?
You hardly leaned on it.
There you go. Hold on.
You gotta impact it off now.
I don't know. That thing was really. If I had mine here, the M Fuel would have. That thing's got 1,100 foot-pounds of torque. Right?
All right, here you can see the junk lower control arms that we pulled off the car. The boots were pretty much gone and the ball joints are just junk, but brand new move parts, inner and outer tie rod ends. We have new bushings on order for the torque arms, new upper control arms, new sway bar end links on order, and new sway bar bushings on order. So we're gonna have ourselves a whole new suspension, at least in the front. So that's the teardown portion. All right, so we got the old and busted components off the K. We're ready to clean that up, paint it, and get everything assembled again.
It took some serious muscle today, but thanks to our friend here, We were actually able to get everything taken apart, and it did take a little effort, to do that.
Had to fix it with fire a couple times.
But once you see it, when we get it all back together, all nicely painted, all the new parts on it, we're going to be pretty confident about going 200 miles an hour in this car.
Well, that's another episode. What's the motto, Keith?
Get smart.
Go fast. Thanks for watching, guys.